Tift getting plenty of drafting help at the back bumper from Grant Enfinger. Ben Rhodes is there. Timothy Peters as well. Tift trying to challenge up high for the lead.
Hugs the middle of the racetrack right up against the right side of the bottom lane. Back bumper absolutely being peppered by Grant Enfinger. Matt Tift to the lead at Talladega, back to turn 3.
And he's getting a great push from Grant Enfinger right now. Matt Tift will now drop into the low line right in front of Ben Kennedy. He's 2-3 truck lengths ahead. Side-by-side battle for second as they head toward the trioval between Grant Enfinger and Ben Kennedy.
It's getting frisky at the front of the field here at Talladega, leaning on each other, side drafting, bouncing off each other, coming to the start-finish line. Side-by-side for the lead yet again. It's downstairs, Matt Tift. Here comes Grant Enfinger topside.
Enfinger, a relative newcomer to the Camping World Truck Series, but a seasoned hand in ARCA competition. He is having a great run this afternoon. High, wide, and handsome. He will take the lead off turn 2.
And think about switching lanes from the top to the bottom. Although the outside lane's got the momentum, he'll elect to stay just there, blocking Ben Rhodes, who's now having to battle for the second spot with Matt Tift leading the charge at the bottom.
He's got a great battle going on with Grant Enfinger. He's getting a push from Ben Kennedy down in that low groove. Timothy Peters is now rallied. He's picked up 4 spots since the restart. Side by side for the lead once again, with now Grant Enfinger nosing ahead.
Intense racing at the front of the field as they come off the corner to complete lap number 59. Let's go to the infield and hear from Kim Kuhn.
Yeah, Kyle, Brandon Hightower being released from infield here. First off, are you okay? Quite the lick. And then second.
Oh, trouble. Turn number 1. Ben Rhodes is hard into the outside wall and across the face of the field in front of Dave Moody.
A massive crash developing in turns 1 and 2. At least a half a dozen, maybe 8 or 10 trucks now, all sliding down the banking into the infield. One of those involved is the Daniel Hemrick machine. He will limp by with damage. Chris Fontaine got a piece of the action. Austin Cindric is involved as well, and there's an auto wrecking yard down on the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. One of the trucks trying to limp away the Clay Greenfield machine. He's having a little bit of luck, but not much, as that truck is badly torn up. Also, William Byron. Man, that insurance policy with the earlier win is feeling like a mile wide right now as William Byron pulls away from the accident scene.
Big old knot of trucks laying at the bottom of the apron between turns 1 and 2 puts us under the caution flag at lap number 59. We'll recap that for you in a moment as we continue with Kim Kuhn at the Care Center.
Yeah, Brandon Hightower and I just watching that replay of the current wreck. Let's go back to your wreck again. Are you okay, and what happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just, a little shook up by the incident. We had a top 10 car all day, or truck, should I say. It's been a great time, in the Ron's Fleet Service truck. So, like I said, I don't really know what happened a while ago. It's just one of those things that, it's Talladega for you. It's the big one. So just so it happened, the guy in front of me got crossed up, and spotter told me to go to the middle. We went to the middle, and I tried to go back down because I saw the truck coming back up, and it was just too late. So unfortunately, we got turned into the wall. It's just part of this racing deal. So it's a big sport of auto racing, as Mike Wallace calls it.
Appreciate the time. That's Brandon Hightower out of the Infield Care Center here at Talladega.
A big hit for Brandon Hightower a couple of laps ago. A couple of big hits in the latest incident involving at least a dozen trucks, many of them at the bottom of the apron of turn number 2, Dave Moody.
Kyle, I would identify all of them if I could at this point. We know the Brandon Brown truck is one of them. But essentially, it is just one giant pile of steaming, twisted, and demolished race trucks. At least 3 trucks are there, but they are torn up so badly they're almost impossible to identify from our vantage point. The Brandon Brown machine is one of them. Multiple safety vehicles, at least a dozen or more, are on the scene of a multi-truck crash at the bottom of turns 1 and 2.
Let's check in with Steve Post on the pit lane.
A lot of work going on here. William Byron's truck, the left side of it is just absolutely caved in. Crew members working on the front and the rear. Similar situation for Rico Abreu, the Safelite truck, as they have got damage all along the left side of that truck as well for Rico and around the front of it. Now, Rico, though, they continue to work on the left front of that truck, trying to get good clearance of the tire and the wheel from the fender. So a lot of damage down here for a couple trucks.
Winston Kelly, any damaged trucks in front of your end?
One slightly. That would be Ryan Truex, who started 22nd. He's been kind of running mid-pack most of the day. He brought his truck down. They had some damage to the right side of that Toyota, pulled the sheet metal away, returned him to the track, but I expect he's going to come back down pit road for some more repairs, but he was the only one on this end of pit road.
Watching the sprint vision board right here, when Ben Rhodes got up into the outside wall, Looked like he had a little help there. That turned him down in front of the field. He clipped Brandon Brown and turned Brown up and into the outside wall, and then everybody came piling in. And to Dave Moody's credit, it is just one big mass of race trucks at the bottom of the racetrack. We're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there's still others we've yet to identify. Landon Castle, we've seen this obviously in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series competition. When you're in the middle of all that, it seems like it's very quick and very fast to us. Do things go into slow motion when you're involved in all that?
A little bit, yeah. I would definitely agree with that. I mean, it just, first of all, it happens so fast at first that there's nothing you can do. And then sometimes, I mean, for some of these guys, you're just getting hit and it feels like it's never ending. So sometimes to be on the bottom is the best place to be, because when the wreck happens, as you can see, everything goes up. But what goes up must come down, and then it all comes back down. And some of those guys that were trying to miss the wreck on the low side later on weren't so lucky.
Looked like it was a bump draft gone bad. Timothy Peters, the first truck to bump Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes then got sideways and out of shape, bounced off the outside wall. Timothy Peters was able to continue on and clear the incident, but when Ben Rhodes came back across the racetrack, Brandon Brown was there, and then it was on, collecting at least 12 to 15 trucks. Austin Cindric got a piece of it at the bottom of the racetrack, so all three of the Brad Keselowski racing trucks involved. John West Townley went spinning to the bottom as well. At least 12 trucks. Chris Fontaine, another one to add to the list.
We have those three. I also have the truck of Clay Greenfield. William Byron was involved. Daniel Hemrick involved. Cameron Haley, obviously. Brandon Brown. Tyler Reddick. You've also got the truck of Ryan Truex with just a skosh of damage. Cody Ware got a piece of that. And also Corbin Forrester was involved in that as well. The head count is up to now 12 after a massive crash at lap 59. Back to pit road and Steve Post.
Well, down here watching some of the repair work going on Daniel Hemrick. He's one of the drivers that is in this battle of survival, and a lot of damage across the rear of the truck. As he drove by me, the left rear had damage, and they'd worked on the left side of it. Looked like right rear damage as well. Now, he's back down and away, headed back to the speedway, but it's been quite an effort for Daniel Hemrick. William Byron now brings his Liberty University Toyota in as they continue to work on the wounded left side of his truck. Rico Abreu in again. So a couple of them making numerous stops here to get repairs done to their automobiles.
Dave Moody, what's the update on the carnage there between 1 and 2?
Well, they continue to work on it, Mike. The safety vehicles, ambulances, wreckers, flatbeds, and the like have well outnumbered the actual crashed race trucks right now. I think the majority of the problem is that a number of trucks are just in, as I mentioned, that giant twisted heap. Trying to extricate them and separate them from one another seems to be the biggest job right now.
And that's what the safety crews are doing at the bottom of turns 1 and 2 after Ben Rhodes got turned into the outside wall and subsequently into the face of the field. At least 12 to 15 trucks involved in a massive crash at lap 59 here in Talladega.